dressing room know what I expect. Good, clean fight. Legal punches, here for you. Legal punches, here for you. Touch gloves, good luck to both of you. Buena suerte a los dos. De la esquina, por favor.
Well, there is the Hall of Famer, Freddie Roach, the trainer of Giovanni Cabrera, as he sends out Cabrera, the 27-year-old who's 19-0. Timmy, his last fight, we saw him win an 8-round decision against Rene Giron. That was a fight in which both fighters actually missed weight, so they switched opponents at the last moment, and it was Giovanni who got some primetime TV exposure in that fight that he was able to win. He has a very unique style.
Very unique style, as you said. You know, this is the type of fighter, Cabrera is the type of fighter that takes the air out of the ball. You know, I would call him AKA Bill Belichick. You know, this guy is a southpaw. Right now he's choosing to attack, but he fights well off his back foot. He's very slippery in there. He has a very loose guard. Moving, you see his hands down.
Stop.
And his rhythm is really hard to pick up, you being the other fighter.
Snapping that southpaw jab off the hip. Awkward stance as well. Araujo is the former Argentinian lightweight champion. He's a 7-year pro, 34 years old. Gio trying to time a left uppercut as Araujo came in. Shoots it off again.
Yeah, it's no secret the plan for Araujo is to get inside. That's where he wants to live. He wants to get down to the body of Cabrera, but Cabrera is doing a good job right now, using his legs, using angles, using a good jab and getting out at the right time and controlling the distance. Nice uppercut.
Manos sueltas, déjalo ir. Stop! Break! Break!
Raul Calles, the referee for this opening bout tonight. Well, it's a thick and chunky fight card starting here local time at 2:10 in the afternoon, Timmy, before we work our way to the 8 p.m. Eastern main ESPN and ESPN Plus card that'll feature Tiger Johnson, Jamel Herring, and then Janibek Alamhalala against Danny Dignam in the main event. But 5 undercard fights before we get to the 3 main fights.
A lot of good talent, a lot of young talent here on the card. You know, I can't wait to see the young man Tiger see some improvements in his game. And also Duke Reagan.
Stop! No le pega atrás de la cabeza. No hit behind the head.
Araujo's last fight was on November 20th of last year. It was right here in Vegas. And he was up against another extremely talented prospect, now fringe contender who we've been impressed with, and that's Raymond Morataya.
See, Cabrera, he understands that it's a lot harder to hit a moving target. You know, he's not standing still for Araujo to do what he wants to do and get inside and just bang on him. He just keeps turning them and turning them. The bull and the matador.
End of 1. Let's listen in to the Hall of Famer, Freddie Roach.
Okay. I'm going to be this one.
Come on. Now, you better stop moving somebody and sit down on that left hand. Walk him into that. Okay. You hit him with the jab, okay, but you're not throwing any power with that left hand. Okay. Sit down on that guy and go with it, okay? Okay. All right? Yeah, but that's a little bit long. Shorten it up, okay? Good job, bang. Power, okay?
Mouthpiece.
And as is the case with many of the fighters who have put in time at Freddie Roach's wildcard gym, you get some exceptional sparring experience, and that is the case with Gio Cabrera. He's been in with Manny Pacquiao. He's been in with Gary Russell Jr. He's been in with Jose Zepeda, Ray Beltran. As he has said, I've had over 50 rounds with Pacquiao. He considers Pacquiao one of his ultimate heroes. He says when you're in there with Pacquiao, you can just feel his intensity. As Tim Bradley, you know better than anybody in the fight game over the last 20 years.
No doubt about it. And I heard he did well. And that's why he kept returning and was one of Manny Pacquiao's main sparring partners.
As well as he did, he also said that the hardest punch he's ever taken was against Pacquiao in sparring. He said the most vicious punch he's ever been hit with was a straight to the liver by Manny Pacquiao.
8-division world champion, Manny Pacquiao. No doubt about it. I was hit by the straight left hand as well. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Stop.
As you can see, more intensity is coming from Araujo. He's trying to get close. He's trying to maul and rough up Cabrera.
Araujo trying to chase him straight back with that right hand. Return fire from Gio Cabrera.
See, he's trying to take the little southpaw angles away from Cabrera by smothering him and put him in the T position to take advantage of a southpaw and not allow them to use their angles. If you get him in a T position, get him in the chest and square it up, you have an advantage. Now you can land both punches, left and right hand, as opposed to just the right hand.
There are times in there, Timmy, where you watch Gio Cabrera and you say, he is such a rule breaker. He is so wildly awkward with his body movement, his footwork, but somehow he gets away with it.
He does get away with it if you allow him to, but you see right here, this is exactly the fight that Araujo needs. He's moving his head to try to get inside to bridge that gap. And you see a little bit confusion for Cabrera. He doesn't like that pressure. See, Cabrera's not as comfortable as he is on the outside. You know, when he's on the outside, he's loose. He has the loose guards, his hands down by his waist. He can sneak in with shots, pop shot you from the outside, use his jab and use his legs to get out. Nice time right there with the bolo shot right down to the body.
10 seconds,
but when you get in close on him, he doesn't like it inside the pocket.
Working our way to our main event, that includes Janibek Alimhanallah, as he says, Kazakh style. He explains it here. Buddy McGirt, the trainer for Janibek Alimhanallah. You also saw him flanked by Egis Klimas, who has been the manager of the year in boxing. Of course, Egis is the manager and advisor for Vasily Lomachenko and Alexander Usyk, and now he has this rising star in Janibek Alimhanallah. Mark Kriegel will have a full conversation with Janibek coming up a little bit later as he prepares to claim his first belt of his career if he can get past the upset-seeking Danny Dignam. That is coming up in our main event, both here on the app and on ESPN, with coverage beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern. Round number 3 here between Araujo and Cabrera. Tim, how would you define the style of Janibek? How do you define that Kazakh style?
You know, he can do a little bit of everything, but everything's off the jab. You know, I would say he has great footwork as well. He can fight off his back foot. I would say a well-rounded, oiled machine. Very precise and accurate with his shots. Don't waste. Very economical with his punches as well. Very calculated approach, but when he strikes with deadly force. He's in there to hurt you, to knock you out, not just to look cute in box.
He's the best of all worlds, really, because he's a guy who's not going to get hit a lot. He has defensive prowess. He has great amateur pedigree. He's a guy who's going to be efficient and accurate, but he's also a closer.
Yes.
He's also a closer, so that is why he has been, even at 11-0, one of the most avoided guys at 160 pounds, but tonight an opportunity to claim a vacant WBO interim belt that, based on the business of boxing and how things are going with Demetrius Andrade, soon to likely be a full world champion. Danny Dignam says he has game plan A, B, and C, though, to throw that off. We will see in our main event.
Well, he's going to need a D.
Well, he discussed that with us yesterday. He said, I know what that game plan is, too. And that's me just getting after it. Just getting into the grill of Janibek and making the thing a brawl.
We got a small cut punch, bridge of the nose.
You heard Raul Caiz say that the cut that you will see that has appeared is from a punch. Araujo still trying to track down Cabrera.
He's still trying to track him down, but the problem he's making is he's moving his head from too far out. He can be timed. You know, you can time that head movement side to side, and stick a jab on it. And then when he lunges or reaches forward, you can lift him up with the uppercut. So every now and then you'll see Cabrera throw the backhand uppercut. That was to the body
that was
right
to the
there.
back of the head.
Don't stand on hit behind the head. Don't do that.
You see, but that's because of the awkwardness, Tim. The reason that just happened with Cabrera, correct me if I'm wrong, is just because he's so awkward with his movement. He's putting himself and the opponent in a position where you're going to hit him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, gentlemen, let's go. Yo me encargo. Call it a punch, punch of the nose.
Stop running from this guy. You're doing too much. Sit down. Come on, settle down. Settle down. Let's go. Start hitting the guy right down the middle and jabbing the right hand. It's right there for you. I mean, you're not throwing one power shot yet. Okay. All right, come on. Sit down on that shot. All right, knock this guy out. Let's go. Work. Okay?
There for you.
Come on. Hold your ground. Step a set and go. All right? Yep. They're holding way too much.
Freddie Roach telling Giovanni he's holding way too much, that he hasn't really thrown a significant power punch yet, to sit down on his punches. This coming from Freddie Roach to a fighter who has told us that he has studied movers from the past, that he watches film. He goes back and watches old film of Willie Pep and Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah, I mean, he's a counterpuncher at heart. That's what he is. Just, he likes to wait for his opponent to move or to move in on him. Then he'll beat him to the punch, just like that. You want to get to the spot? Nope. I'm going to meet you with a punch. Nice counter right there and then get out.
He backhanded him that time after throwing the southpaw right hook. And out to the inside, a body shot's come in from Araujo.
He got hurt to the body.
That was Araujo's best work, as he was able to get to the inside and go to the body there.
Stop, no knockdown.
That's a slip.
Sube tu cabeza porque te cachaste. Here we go. Here we go. Box. Stop. Break. No punch. Here you go.
Well, Araujo being a veteran, he knows what he has to do, and he's getting there. He's getting to the mark every now and then, and he knew he hurt Cabrera. That's the reason why you see him continue to attack, and he's looking for the body. That's where the weakness is for Cabrera. Nice counter again by Cabrera. Beautiful counter again. Just sitting on the outside and just picking and choosing, pop shotting from the outside and letting Araujo do a lot of the work for him. Moving his head side to side, and as soon as he attacks and get in that mid-range, boom, he meets him with a shot.
Let him go, Gio. Pull your arm out, Gio.
There it is right there. Ooh, nice uppercut up the middle from Araujo. You had Cabrera put those earmuffs on, put that high guard on, and you're able to split it up the middle or come around that guard. Araujo choosing to come up the middle, and beautiful shot land.
Stop. Break. We got an accidental headbutt.
It's a big gash.
Clash of heads causing the cut around the eye. End of fours. We work our way through this under absence, and we will see him coming up 2 fights from now. We get Duke Reagan, the Olympian, next, and then it is the return of the former WBO junior featherweight world champion Jesse Magdaleno. What do you expect from Jesse today?
Well, you know, he's been off so long, so my expectations are not so high. This is to knock some of that ring rust off. It's going to take him a couple of rounds, maybe 4 rounds, to get acclimated in there against his opponent. But he still has speed, has great, tremendous punching power, boxing ability. And, you know, I saw that fire in his eyes in the fighter meeting.
He'll be up against Eddie Valencia, who is a 19-win veteran from Mexico, as they will go 8 rounds at 126 pounds, that left hand going underneath.
That hurts. Oh, that hurts. I don't care who you are. You get hit to the body like that, that hurts.
Another left hand goes to the body. Round number 5 here.
Watch your hands. Watch your hands. You all right? Here we
As
go.
Giovanni Cabrera trying to get himself to 20-0.
Stop. No punch. No punch. No punch. Here we go. Box.
And Tess, it's not like Cabrera is not fighting, you know, guys. He has fought some undefeated guys, you know, top prospects as well, and he's beating them. You know, if he gets through this fight, I'm curious to see what Top Rank's going to do next for him, who they're going to put him up in the ring with.
Remember, we saw him in January, but prior to that, he hadn't fought. Gio Cabrera hadn't fought in 2.5 years. He was with a different promoter, different manager, wasn't getting a lot of action. Of course, COVID. You know, a lot of guys didn't get a lot of action with COVID, and Top Rank was fortunate. They were doing multiple shows a week from the MGM Grand Bubble, but Cabrera wasn't with Top Rank at the time. He didn't sign his contract until more recently.
Here we go. Box.
Another left hand goes underneath to the body.
Stop.
That's a nasty shot. He throws it, he gets his foot outside the lead foot of Araujo and digs it right up the middle.
Araujo with his back against the ropes. Cabrera just flicking that southpaw jab, kind of chicken winging it off the hip.
See, what Araujo's doing is he's just trying to lure in Cabrera. Cabrera's taking the bait every now and then. Yes, he's maintaining distance, but if he lunges forward, Araujo's going to meet him with a punch. He's sick of chasing him around, Tess.
Timed a left uppercut as Araujo crossed the threshold. Another sweeping left hand to the body. He's had a very successful 5th round with that body work.
Stop at the bell. Stop. Box. Get ball.
Timmy, go back and show us that body shot that landed in the 5th.
Yeah, it's all about distance. It's all about positioning as well with your feet. You know, southpaw versus orthodox fighter. No, he didn't get his foot totally on the outside to land that body shot, but it was inside.
Cuts are fine.
But perfect timing right here, timing Araujo as he steps in, looking for a right hand, right down to the body, looked like to the solar plex of Araujo. Took it well, but that shot continues to land over and over. It will continue, it would add up over time.
Come on. He's way too close.
Let's go. Second time on preset. Hasta para atrás, por favor. Box.
Crowd slowly filling in here. First fight of the undercard at Resorts World, their events center, which is a very nice temporary facility that they have built here on this magnificent property that's not even a year old on the Vegas Strip. It is the first major resort entertainment facility that's been newly built on the Vegas Strip in 12 years. And there is a deduction for the excessive holding.
1 point. Holding. Come over here, Gio. You're being excessive on that. Okay, you can clinch, but you can't keep holding like that. Okay? Here we go.
Raul Caiz did give him a warning a few times. And even Freddie Roach said to Gio Cabrera after a round, "You're holding far too much."
What will help Araujo to close that gap, to bridge that gap between him and Cabrera is that you got to use a jab. It's like you got to use your jab to keep your opponent occupied, looking at something while you're doing something else. When you just come in, you just get time. Every time you come in with your head moving like that, you're going to get timed on the way in. So use your jab.
The other thing I want to ask you about Araujo's strategy of the movement, the weaving, trying to work your way in, not doing it behind a jab, is he starts that weaving from so far away. Is there wasted energy there, Timmy?
A lot of wasted energy, and he continues to get time to get hit with body shots like that, moving his head side to side and not using the jab. And there's opportunities to punch off the side-to-side movement as well. But you got to be calm enough and you got to be trained to be able to use that movement to your advantage. You can disguise the right hand, moving your shoulders back and forth, and when it comes forward, boom, throw a right hand right down the middle.
On that pivot of the right shoulder on the second time it comes forward?
Yes.
Don't push his head down. Stop. Don't push his head down, Gio. Don't push his
But
head
then
down.
again, you got to have the right distance at the right time. Oh.
Pull your arm Gio.
Reminder that the Olympic silver medalist Duke Reagan is coming up next. This is scheduled for 8 rounds, and then we will see the 5-0 24-year-old from Cincinnati, Ohio, Duke Reagan, in action against Victorino Gonzalez. You see Araujo complaining and Cabrera saying, let me take advantage.
Stop! Break! Cuidado con la cabeza también, tú también. Box! Put your arm out, Gio. Put your arm out. Déjalo ir, Elias. Put your arm out. Déjalo ir. Para la campana. 10 segundos. Tiempo.
Remember, there was that foul in that round, and there was a point deduction. Here's how it happened, Tim.
Yeah, it's excessive holding. You know, the referee stepped in and already warned him several times, but you see right there, he's in over the head. Then he reaches out. You see the arms come together, bodies come together again. See the step in right there from Cabrera, getting close. Don't look like it don't really look like he was trying to tie him up. He was just bodying him up right there, but the referee called it holding, saw enough, took a point.
You can't let him be in charge of this fight. You back him up. Let's go. Down the middle. Down the middle, okay? Right down the middle, both hands.
Here we go. Box. Pull your arm out.
Round number 7 scheduled for 8. Told you Bernardo with the week off. We're thrilled to have Marley Rivera with us. Marley, what were they saying in that corner of Araujo?
Accidental headbutt. Necesita tiempo. ¿Está bien? You good? ¿Estás bien? Okay, a ver, okay, se toca guantes, ¿eh? Era accidental. Se están peleando fuerte. Here we go. Box.
And guys, over here in the blue corner, what has been keep telling Araujo's coaches keep telling him, you need to attack low, be continuous, and go through your punches. You really are not following through on those punches. And they also keep yelling at the referee that there's been some really unnecessary hits to the head. They have accused at this point Gio of 4 different hits to the head. So back to you guys.
Thank you, Marley.
That was to the back of the head.
Yeah, to the back of the head specifically. Raul Caiz has had a lot of work to do, as Marley noted.
Box.
So I like the strategy right now, or the change in strategy for Araujo. He's throwing the overhand right as opposed to the straight right hand. You know, the straight right hand, the southpaw sees that often, but the looping right hand, they don't see that all too often. It's a different angle the way the right hand is coming in. And what that's doing is it's taking that body shot away, because when you throw to the body, you got to drop your hand. So if you throw over the top, you can catch him as he's throwing that looping bolo shot down to the body.
Let him go, Gio. Stop. No se preocupe.
Great change in strategy.
Hands are free. There you go. Pull your arm out, Gio. Pull your arm out. Déjalo ir. Stop. Stop. No. Here we go. Don't do that, Gio. You better do that. Come on. Box.
You know what, Tess? I know it don't look good. It doesn't look, Cabrera doesn't look like fantastic.
No.
But I can tell you this. He's a difficult fighter to deal with.
Oh, he's a pain to deal
I'm
with.
letting you know right now. And you know who he reminds me of? Miguel Vasquez. I fought him. Canelo Alvarez fought Miguel Vasquez twice. I think you got to draw with Miguel Vasquez. You know, does things out of the ordinary. Very hard to track down in the ring. Like I told you in the beginning, he takes the air out of the ball. See all the holding he's doing and tying up and then moving and punching at different angles, slapping you, pushing you down like that. That's frustrating, because that's not normal. That's not normal.
Cuidado con la cabeza, Elias. Stop. Cuidado con la... Hey, ¿quieres que te punta de ti? Okay, box. Ahí viene la campana.
And Miguel Vasquez became a world champion too.
1 round to go here on the first fight of our undercard. And then at 80.
Touch gloves, last round. Caballeros, vamos, okay, caballeros, vamos, box.
8th and final round between Cabrera and Araujo.
Get off his head, Gio. Stop. Box.
Ooh, nice shot.
Get off his head. Stop.
Oh, you wonder why there's so many head clashes. Both guys, you got one guy, Araujo's coming forward, trying to be aggressive, leaning forward. And then you have the southpaw Cabrera. You got to understand that the power punchers lie on the same exact side. So anytime you throw a right hand and the southpaw throw the left hand, the heads can come together.
Well, we've had a clash ahead. It keeps timing him with that left uppercut.
Yes,
every time Araujo comes forward.
But you see the heads, they're very close together.
Yes.
And even in the inside, when you're throwing your power shots, you tend to move your head and your body.
Araujo, the 34-year-old from Argentina. Cabrera, the undefeated fighter, 27-year-old, coming off that long break of 2.5 years. He lists himself from Chicago, Illinois, because he moved there with his family when he was 10. He was born in Seattle. He was raised most of his early years in Mexico. His father is from Mexico. His mother's an Italian-American stay-at-home mom. Father's an electrician. Before that, he was a fisherman in Alaska. So this is a well-traveled Gio Cabrera.
See, Araujo starting to fade a tad bit, starting to miss the indication. He's missing a lot of punches, and he's slowing down drastically. Punch output has slowed a bit this round. Little shoe shine right there from Cabrera, which does absolutely nothing.
Here we go, box.
It's an easy way to weaken your opponent, throwing them on the ground while he's fatigued, and also buy yourself some time to breathe and recover yourself.
Here we go, box.
See the frustration from Araujo.
All the holding.
It's been a point deduction for excessive holding. That happened in round number 6.
Here we go. Vamos, box. 10 segundos para la campana. Listen for that bell. Stop. Box, ahí viene la campana. Tiempo. Buena pelea.
That does it. 8 rounds in the books between Cabrera and Araujo. Our first fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds here inside Resorts World, we go to the judges' scorecards for the official decision. Kermit Bayless scores the bout 77-74. Ricardo Ocasio scores the bout 78-73. And Max DeLuca scores the bout 79-72. For your winner by unanimous decision, Giovanni El Cabron Cabrera.
Hoy me hablas de amores y traiciones. Ponete a mi lado, corsario, que a mí se me vuelan todos los gorriones. Esperando sentado en mi mesita del Miravalle, te sigo esperando sentado.